okay. I've been happy with them myself.
On the side of SKT, mostly a 4-1 comp built around Siege. The Akali can hit the side lane and the Jace joins Varus for some safe siegey fun times. Can just roll through and get the snowball going if Clid has a big day out on the Lee Sin. That's the hope there. Meanwhile, you see Vladimir, you kind of work out the rest. On the side of Humble Life Esports, will throw them up. Vladimir, Azir, team fighting can happen, but they can fight early. It doesn't have to be when Vladimir is ready. He can buy some cooldown reduction. And Azir and Kalista are usually online early, but it's the Kalista Lux lane that potentially can fall prey. There's no guarantee that you can push up and be aggressive around this lane and then always have the Fates call for disengage. Those timings can be disrupted. That will be Clid's job in the early game.
And he's going to be looking towards that bottom lane. Azir going to be a relatively hard gank, but we'll see how much pressure Khan wants to put up in the top side too. We've seen crazy chase stuff at level 1, 2, 3, where you just shut him down entirely. That's going to be his job up in the top lane. And here we go, guys. Game number 2 for SKT versus Humble Life. Alrighty, here we go into the second game. And if it looks anything like game 1, might be the last game of the night as well.
Humble Life's first goal should be stay in the competition post 15, because it was even before turret plates went down, and then the 13 of 15 available turret plates being picked up by the side of SKT. Kind of knew that one was going to be done nice and early. Humble Life, they've got some places to fight around, and they've got a Jarvan, and let's see how Bono looks on a jungler away from his usual wheelhouse. As Tal, you know what? He's going to get a couple of transfusions in, but obviously not the most damage.
Yeah, the Doran shield coming through.
We should talk about it, because if you remember, our resident Vladimir expert, Nuguri, doesn't like Doran's shield Vlad anymore. He is almost always onto the Doran's Ring start. Doran's Ring 2 potions that people look at and laugh about. The same people that complain about Cassiopeia not having boots. You know who you are. But the reason why it's relevant is, like, why not Doran's shield? Because if you think about it, you're like, all right, well, Jace is ranged, hits Vladimir. Vladimir can't really fight back in the health trades with low levels in transfusion, and you get that cool passive that gives you all the health back. Think of the synergy. But what you forget is that long-standing nerf that people don't remember is that when you're high health, actually the active gives you very little healing. It does scale with how much missing health you have. Right now, seeing Bono come top lane, it's a level 1 tile, so he's not going to do much.
He's trying to get the flash here, and they will.
I wonder if he needed to flash. I mean, you understand why he flashed, but level 1 Vlad realistically does maybe 200 damage with Q auto and can't really do anything else.
Yeah, you think you get knocked up, you'll take a large chunk of damage from the Jarvan, of course, but then maybe you just knock him away.
Especially
like,
level 2 Vlad, you're like, alright, the slow, alright, a bit more AoE damage. Level 1 Vlad does hilariously no damage. Still, that was the decision, safety first from Khan. I think that's probably fine overall. But because at high health values, you get so little value out of the Doran shield, you know what happens, Valdez? The Jace, a champion who can manic your waves and freeze them, goes for a slow push, and you get turret dive because you're low health and he's not actually proccing the Doran shield. So you have 2 potions to actually get the healing while the wave is being frozen on you. Is the reason the Doran shield has gone out. It's that double potion that makes people prefer.
Clid running while also damaging the Rift Scuttler. It's actually gonna be saved there, Bono, from a bunch of damage. Let's see who wins the smite fight, as Bono is going to stay on in here. Actually gets the smite as well. Tal does pretty much nothing on the backside, and Clid is looking for that kill. At least is going to get the pull. Backs away, but Bono got the Rift Scuttler, so win for him.
Faker going CS for CS to win in the mid lane as well. Pretty low on health. Bono's here.
Ooh, Faker did take a lot of damage, but it's Akali. Bono realistically is just looking to take the The Crab down on the bottom side.
And we've seen some pretty good Akali play today. Rascal had a great Akali game earlier where, yes, he fell down a couple of times, but he tanked the most aggro possible for a top lane Akali without just chain feeding. Bono, he's feeling assertive. He got double scuttle, which obviously feels great. As the Jarvan, who much prefers the single target camps. On side, Tom Kench usually known for overextending, but I guess with the top side party, Effort and Teddy have decided to be safety first on the bottom side.
Taking a bunch of damage from the Flux. Not a very fun time overall, but the Biscuiteer taken by the Varus. He's got a shield of his own. Lots of shields going around here. And we saw 5 stopwatches the last game by KT. This time we get 4 stopwatches out of Hanwha Life.
It's not quite 94 minutes, please, Riot, help us, but if we get back to 8 to 10 stopwatches, we gotta do something about this free stopwatches. Talked about it in our first series, but I'm a really big fan of 600 gold for an effect that either wins you a team fight or actually keeps you alive or sometimes does nothing and you waste it. It's a very high skill expression in using the 600 gold stopwatch. The freebie one is the one where either it's coming online too early or the other rune sucks so much that why not get a stopwatch? When the utility tree is taken by 5 out of 5 people or close to, tells you that there needs to be more power in the other trees.
Yeah, I mean, you can only nerf it so many times, right? What is it going to be, like a 20-minute stopwatch or something like that?
I mean,
I'll probably check for 9:14.
It's 12 and a half minutes free boots, right? Like,
yeah.
Things have gotten later and later. Kali doing a thing. She doesn't need no stopwatch to be able to get away from aggro. Speaking of aggro, Clid saw the mid lane Jarvan and reads the pace of the Jarvan very well.
Yeah. It's kind of like a style move there, you know? It's like, hey, by the way, I've got a read on you, and if you hit it, then maybe they think there's a ward there.
Speaking of style, Execution is calling with his first 800 gold, means lots of priority. The top side, Clid misses the Q.
And the E. He hit the auto there, though, onto Agatha. Agatha, of course, the blue side Gromp.
If he missed the auto, I would have been very concerned. This isn't TFT against the autos, you know?
Yeah, not quite. You think we should add dodge chance back into the game?
No.
Cries in Jax.
I was a big fan of the Nimbleness rune, in case you weren't playing all those years ago, and I think that's probably a lot of fans when we talk about 2019, but Nimbleness was a rune in the mastery tree, I guess a mastery rather than a rune.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that's a lot of damage. That meant that if you dodged, you actually got a 10% movement speed buff.
Yeah.
So Jax loved that rune. Lava looking for a lane gank with Bono, but Faker not obliging.
I mean, Bono's been here like 4 times. It's just...
We've seen a lot of let's keep
old.
ganking Akali in the games today, and I hope people stop that one. It doesn't work.
I mean, it really does not, especially in mid lane. Akali, very safe. The only time you're really going to have it happen is if her Shroud is down. And her ult, probably.
Using the priority they have to try to steal away blue. They don't get it.
Oh boy. Clid just says no. In the face of 4 Hanwha Life members, he stood up and used his smite button. Whereas Bono did not have a smite, I don't think, as it's still on cooldown right now.
Worth noting that it's a relatively low value blue buff for SKT. Faker does like it because Akali goes through a lot of energy, but in the scope of champions, it's definitely not quite Yasuo, but it's there. Close to comes to blue buff validity, and Clid is going to add insult upon injury. He's looking for the double blue buff.
They seem pretty good at rushing down these big camps.
Does he have smite? He does.
And you can see the flag comes down as Bono kind of knew something was up, but not much he could do. Just has the blue buff stolen under his nose.
And whether you want to call it Clid's performance or how SKT have kind of played around their jungler, that is my big takeaway from today, is that in the first game, made some really good calls, a late invades, 3-buff and Olaf. Olaf never does anything. In this game, everything Clid has done follows logic. There's a plan. They're trying to attack different parts of the map and reacting to them well. And it seemed like a disconnect between Clid and SKT before Rift Rivals, so it's a good look with him back in form and making some good moves.
First Drake of the game being taken down here by Bono.
Faker has an illegal amount of CS in this matchup with how many ganks he's tanked.
It's just like every gank, he just kind of walks away underneath the shroud.
How many CS has Kalista even missed? That's 100 already.
It's hard to pull that off at 920, right? It's
you don't have camps to inflate your score like you can with mid laners later.
What?
Blind check.
Yeah. Ends up making it happen. Yeah.
Someone knows perfect CS numbers, I always forget. Faker walking up, being a jerk. Getting this much control and presence in mid lane. This definitely feels like nameplates on for SKT, and Faker's been up and down, I would say, in 2019. Definitely had some games where we were reminded of victories past. I'm going to watch the replay of the blue buff steal here. Is there anything significant about this that we missed? I guess they wanted a pass-off. Bono didn't want to smite it.
오늘 좋은 날이네.
Today's a lucky day.
Okay. It was all about the reaction cam, it turns out.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like he just landed a Q, right? So that's kind of nice. As landing the EQ here is Bono. Going to get on top of Khan, but Tal just cannot follow up, and Bono ends up having to walk away.
Khan was so comfortable to not flash there. It looked like he was trying to make sure his model was next to the wall, because you can be body blocked and then fat flash really easily in a scenario like that. But actually, unlike the level 1 where it felt like he perhaps could have not used his flash, quite impressive for him to know his limits there. Really well done.
How about this rotation? We got Faker down to the bottom lane. Teddy going mid. Effort also hanging down here. And of course, this is because the Rift Herald is being taken and Faker has teleport, whereas Teddy does not.
Oh, we fighting, boys.
We're getting in there, but Glid in a bit of trouble, but Effort able to get on top of him and get the Devour down. Challenging Smite comes in, but Bono is not going to be able to land that damage. Glid flashes away. This is very heavily SKT favored. First Blood going to come in. Key is going to survive thanks to the shield. Khan looking for the accelerated shock blast. This is going to flash forward here as the stopwatch is actually going to block him from the kill. Ends up being only the one, but they also got the Rift Herald. As that shock blast misses, SKT off to another good start.
They make the proactive map movement. They're there first, and they also trade up in the overall fight. Rift Herald going to be jammed down at 12 minutes. Seems like Faker, the rich get richer.
I'm just being reminded of how hard it was to cast the 8.1 meta where everybody had a stopwatch. It's like, oh, the guy's going to die, and then he stopwatches. And that happened like 3 or 4 times in that one fight.
We remember it as the debated meta, patch 8.1, also the Resident Sleeper meta, as we go in on what was always going to be a really hard commit when HLE went there. The effort comes in nice and early. That's alone. He wasn't even bringing in a friend. Klid gets up. Bono threads his spells pretty poorly, all things considered, and Klid is able to flash away. And then from there, Faker just wishes he had his ultimate over one more time, because there was an easy double kill. If Akali's perfect execution was up, he almost hit a max range EQ to get even more.
Oh, so close, but just denied and debated over and over and over again. Gone close to landing that second one, but now Bono's in the jungle. Actually, who's stuck in here with who? As Effort's even super deep on the front side of this one.
Still has his flash up, so doesn't have to respect an Emperor's Divide. Wasn't available. Only now came off cooldown. Lane assignments here, pretty happy from the side of SKT. Kali can shadow and work out where she wants to go. They want to keep invading. SKT are relentless. No free lunches for HLE Esports.
Maybe they learned something from the LPL coming in here and just non-stop aggression, really trying to get in their face. As Key ends up having to take the red buff. That's really not who you want it on, but at least they get it for their team.
Couldn't tell from the hue. It kind of looked like double buffs, but we know the red definitely came in. But continues to play around. Very easy for Teddy to walk up and make things happen. You're very happy if Kalista comes mid lane to match you this early in the game, because definitely Hurricane is far away, and Kalista won't have as much lane control in a short lane, as Faker continues to, we'll call it test his limits.
I think he wanted to push Tall away and maybe take down the control ward, but Tall was just too confident in his face, so Faker not going to risk it there.
No Protobelt. Old Zonias, I guess you would call it, being built by the Vladimir.
Old Zonias.
It used to be needlessly large rod plus a Seeker's
arm
guard,
okay.
But
yeah.
Now it's going to be a...
I thought you meant like some old Zonia's build
no,
or something.
It's going to be old Zonia's build path, but it's probably going to be some combination of... Could be Death Cap, but I guess more recently it's been the Spellbinder, and then eventually Zonia's will come out. You just never see needlessly large rod and Seeker's arm guard next to each other anymore.
I miss that old build. Either way, SKT just going to come on in here and say this is now our map. Faker just pushing him away. Oh, the perfect dodge with the Shuriken. Faker really just trying to style on him, and that he will. The one-on-one is, he makes it look so easy. As not sure where Bono was going, trying to go for the steal, I suppose, but he gets taken out as well.
Right, production, we need to see the Faker face cam there, because there's a smirk, I think, somewhere in that play. The moment you know you just completely outplayed your opponent. Lava, old trainee of SK Telecom T1, was their 80 carry trainee next to Aiming a few years ago. He got punked. Nice play from Faker, gets the solo kill. Everything sliding into position, and it's not quite as game number one, but does feel like a one-horse race, Valdez.
Kind of just, yeah. I mean, some of the desperate attempts from the side of Hanwha Life are not feel-good moments. They're definitely just mood killers for sure, right? Bono trying to go in there and just, you know, misses the smite, dies immediately. The one-on-one where you're just getting styled on by Faker. It just, you know, two moments like that alone, as we're going to get the slow zoom in on the play.
So opens with the Gunblade, walks away, throws the Shuriken, and the Shuriken toss, if you remember, the second part does go over the Emperor's Divide. Very nice. Well, that was a very solid victory. We're going to see the other side of the fight.
Oh,
Clip got in, got out. Well, everything's falling into place.
yeah, I thought it was just Bono running in because we were watching the Faker play, but it was actually teleport and position taken by Hanwha just to have it snatched away by Clid. And that's pretty good. You know, when a team is behind and they have double mountain and you get out of position, it's like, well, you don't want to really let that happen, whereas, you know, trading mountains makes it a lot easier for SKT to handle.
SKT got him exactly where they want him. Looking to close out this one 2-0 if they continue the approach they're taking. He might be forgiven for thinking that was lethality Varus. Took a big chunk out of Key, but he's going to pop a potion to Squishy. Is the Lux creeping forward vision so that this siege is as safe as possible, and it doubles down on Khan being able to overextend. Speaking of overextension, Tal's in a little bit of strife.
You can see Hanwha Life gonna come in with the TP, and SKT actually do respect it, but Tal trying to get on in there. Teddy gonna flash away as his effort, but the big Cataclysm pick to try to save them. And SKT is not gonna try to turn it around. They quickly realized, hey, we gotta turn tail and get out of here.
And Faker was evaluating his options when it came to a TP, decided the fight was over, call to remove, they disengage. Faker continues to whack away on this inner turret. Casual 44 CS lead, if you don't mind, and 2,000 gold lead for the Maestro of the mid lane.
Khan doing his thing on the Jace, just gonna really threaten Zala here as well. Here we come with the Yomus. Has to force that flash, and there's nothing that Bono can do.
It already forced out the pull, I assume, to decrease damage, so that's why the flash had to be invested. Next Teemo Plague not going to be as robust. They already left vision, so this is not even an overextension. Bit of a training day here. Feels like when the sports team plays around with the witches' hats, as an Aussie would say. Khan comes in. Don't worry about it. It's an Aussie thing.
You got the wrong play-by-play with you today. For that reference.
I believe you call them traffic cones.
Oh, the orange
yes.
cones? Yeah.
We call them witches' hats in Australia.
Witches' hats?
Like a witch, yes.
Oh. Interesting. Yeah. Witches' hats are black, not orange. But believe what you want, Papa Smithy.
It's literally an Australianism.
Say what you want, Papa Smithy. Oh, boy.
Well, I want to say that SK Telecom taking an inner turret, they've taken it in full vision. It's the right play. It's controlled. They have Clid there. for the counter gank as well. Because of the opposition, we can't say it. Everyone wants to say it. You know, they want to say SK Telecom is back. I don't think you can make that inference from this. All we can say is the SKT side of their play is clean. And it kind of whets our appetite. Maybe not for the Telecom war with KT out of form, but they're playing KT for the second time, which means their schedule only gets more difficult as the season goes on. So in about 2 weeks' time, we're going to get the real information on where SKT is at.
They have to run the gauntlet, right? You have to go up against Sandbox, Griffin, Kingzone, Damwon.
Yeah, lots of good teams left, right?
That's the test, right? You know, up against HLE, who unfortunately, you know, nothing against them, but they were the forever 6th team, but I think they might soon be the relegation team.
We've got HLE, Jin Air, KT that right now feel like the teams that are out of contention for, let's say, Worlds Gauntlet and playoffs. Everyone else is around the side. We don't know about Afrika Genji. They could both bottom out. They could both come back. And if Genji even qualify for the Worlds qualifiers.
Genji have to be in the Worlds qualifiers. That's their zone.
Or maybe you have to gatekeep them from the Worlds qualifiers. Otherwise, of course, they win.
That's true. I mean, I think anything could happen in Worlds qualifiers, right? It would be crazy to say Genji now, but at that time, you know, that's happened many years in a row where people are just like, wait, there's no way that, wait, no, they're in Worlds again. What happened?
It just happens every time, Valdez. And it's funny how they have kind of the Genji like Worlds buff or curse when it comes to that gauntlet. And then the other team in their stead is Afrika Freaks, who, with their young mechanical players, can beat anyone but also lose to anyone. And that's kind of the fun kind of 2 wildcard teams next to just the straight-up top 5 as it sits at the moment.
Afrika kind of feel like Hanwha of days past, maybe just a bit better compared to Hanwha in the past.
Well, they won't beat you from kind of scouting foreign strategies. Like they're the team that played Miami and they tried a lot of stuff. Oh, nice EQ flash.
Okay, Bono. He does literally no damage, though, as Cataclysm, he's going to be relying on Sangin to come out in here. But, okay, finally gets it to work as we do have the turret at least taken to the top side.
That was slick. Really nice mechanics there from Bono, but unfortunately hasn't been able to put those to good use so far this game. That was kind of a one moment of a nice little mechanical move, and SKT say, huh, we have teleport on Jace. They're going to recall. Let's start the battle.
Yeah, look at the vision. Finally, they see SKT doing it. And SKT know that, you know, Tal with his TP up and Azir can get there relatively fast. They're not going to take any chances 4v5.
You're wondering, it is Spellbinder first done by Vladimir. We see this situationally from Nogari as well. It is pretty much, I couldn't get Ghost, I need to take Flash Teleport. I need another way to get into the fight and force it, so I don't mind it. Days like this happen, where Faker's just half a second ahead of everyone. We haven't been able to kind of hit the, what would you even call it? I want to say, kind of hit the kind of boilerplate caster points. Boilerplate caster points on Faker, you know, like, oh, tell the story about him being 3 seconds ahead, calling them the solo kill and things like that. Like, they haven't been as relevant. He hasn't been poor in 2019, but he's had down games, up games, been a bit seesaw for Faker in the last 2 years. So you do enjoy moments to sit back and admire one of the greatest to ever play this game. He walks up the top. Right now, he's just gatekeeping a ward. He doesn't want this control ward to go down, but seems like with enough members, he's going to have to back away.
Yeah. I'm not sure how you feel about it, but I feel like those moments are happening more and more often. I don't think they're happening every game or anything like that, but I feel like the tide is slowly turning back to Faker. You know, having those highlight moments where you're just like, how does he do it? What was that, right? So, I mean, it's good news for Faker fans and SKT fans, but again, consistency is what wins championships. So.
And as, you know, one of our more veteran status players, actually the oldest mid laner in the LCK. It's kind of a weird thing. He was always the young guy, right?
Yeah.
But, kind of the Dark Knight situation of being around for as long as he has is that it's a long season, and peaking at the right time can be big. He was good in MSI, which should be mentioned. So, see how Faker's looking at his potential catch.
Songin took more damage than Glid. I think that was just a burst from Khan. SKT, meanwhile, having the path on into the mid lane. Hanwha just grouping up in their own jungle, so they could not stop that push. considering the Baron, as Bono's in an awkward spot here, being chased down now by the rest of SKT. It's going to be burst down with no flash and nowhere to run.
Nice and easy, and that's the one you're all in on that you didn't have to. That's where you actually make your stand, because that means Smite is down. Wait and see if Key even has a charge of Unsealed Spellbook to try to walk up his Lux. If Lux walks up and steals the Baron, something's wrong. She is super squishy. Faker on a very long flank. He won't have perfect execution for this play.
They might have an idea that Faker's back here. You see Tal check the bush, tries to land that Hemoplague, but immediately in the back line is Faker. The kick is going to go wide as, okay, we're bursting down all the squishies. Nice little sweep there from Lava, but just doesn't matter as they're 4v5 fighting. And Lava kind of messing up the combo on the backside. Nearly kills Glid, but ends up getting baited into it. Faker gonna miss that shuriken. Still on the chase as SKT still have nothing to worry about.
Bringing that minion wave, wants to kill Bono again, but dastardly cooldown, not back yet to perfectly execute him 2 times in a row. TP on minion wave to keep it healthy. Base gonna be broken in 2 spots it looks like, and what is a Humble Life to do?
Perhaps buy some life insurance, as they're not living too much in this game anymore. Should be the 2-0 to the side of SKT. Glid with the stopwatch here is going to survive on the backside. And SKT not going to take any chances. Will just back away, buy some items with that 4,000 Baron power play, or gold Baron power play, and come back and try to win.
Usually this first look after Rift Rivals is very important for the team coming back. We always say, is it going to be a hangover or are they going to come back stronger? I'm actually really disappointed with Hanwha Life's side of their games today, because they've had this entire time to prep for today, and they've actually folded very early in both games. And both these games, they were out of really any sort of competition for each 15 minutes.
Khan's doing it again here.
Not going to find the solo kill, but all Tal can do is run away. Hanwha Life looked weaker than they did pre-Rift Rivals, and they were definitely kind of rolling over. They had the Ghost Flash Vladimir game, I think, in that one. I'm very concerned about Hanwha Life's level of competition, because the LCK has been Jin Air as a no-hoper, and then everyone else has at least their moments. Maybe we do have a real hard bottom 3 in summer 2019.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that I feel like the top of the line has gotten a bit stronger overall. You know, it's not just SKT and, 1 or 2 other teams. I feel like it really is 5 teams that are quite strong.
All right, Faker. There's a lot of bad guys.
Okay, nice mechanics once again from Bono, but no real follow-up. Okay, we're flashing. Key is a little bit too close to Faker. That is 5 levels above them.
The global taunt is real. Baron buff. 4 members taking down the last inhibitor turret, and now they want to fight.
All right, the chain's coming on in. The kick really not going to do much. Khan just soloing down Tal as everybody's going to die. Nice little sweep. They finally got Faker. I hope they're satisfied with that, because that's all they're going to get. SKT going to come on in through here. 27 minutes and a half. And they will take this game away from Hanwha Life Esports.
Can they get their old teammate in Tal? No kick up, they're probably going to let him live, but that's all. Khan flashes in, easy end to the game, and SK Telecom T1 wipe the floor with Hanwha Life Esports. Confident victory. A very nice way for their fans to feel, backing up and improving Rift Rivals performance. SK Telecom T1, 1-5 not long ago, 4-5, part of a victorious team that won against the LPL on the final day of Rift Rivals. Are they back? We can't say it today, but they're looking better, and that's a start.
Yeah, you gotta like the play if you are a SKT fan, especially Faker popping off in a big way today. Cannot be dissatisfied with that, but as you mentioned, still more boxes to check, still more good teams to defeat, or at least go up against. So we will have to see how they do once that comes along. I don't actually have more of the schedule in front of me. We do just know that they're playing PT next. Not 100% sure about the game after that.
That'll be their 2 and done for the week, though, so they'll be done on Friday, playing the first match of the second round robin. What a way to start historically, but not so much in 2019 summer. This SKT should be able to dominate KT and go 4-0 when it comes to recent matches. Tougher times await, and we'll wait and see how they can stand there. Surely Faker will pick up the MVP in this game. Our Life Esports, they pack up their stuff, they get out. They need to find a way to get back, Valdez, because right now, maybe it's inevitable with Worlds coming up that the top teams get more competitive, trying to get that best possible seeding, whether it's auto-qualifying, making the final, or making the gauntlet with the seeding, and the bottom teams kind of come to the understanding that the last 8 to 9, 10 months of preparation may be in vain. Every single pro player preps for making the World Championships, but only 15 starters and some squads around them can go each year from each region. The tears can be held off on. Only smiles today for SKT.
Talking about how SKT are currently in the East League. And yeah, that's just a reference to the standings, how the west side is kind of left side, the east side is the right side.
I ask you today, does SKT make playoffs?
Yeah, I think so. I would say that they will. There is that 5th spot. I don't currently think that by the end of this summer that Afrika and Gen.G will finish ahead of them, even if they are ahead of them right now on the standings. Whereas the other 4 teams, I think, are pretty obvious.
Kingzone, Griffin, definitely there. Seems like Damwon is firming, Sandbox, those are ones up there. So you're right, it does feel like there's that one spot, and right now SKT seem like they're going to be in control of their own fate. The 4 Rift Rivals teams in Sandbox, I think, are going to be most people's prediction for top 5, even though there's still work to be done, and even though we need to see SKT do it against the best of Korea. The victory at MSI, look, it was against TOP, so if you want to be an SKT hater, you can ride away the recent wave of momentum, but if you've watched all the games as you and I have, the SKT side, which was scattered, which seemed very out of order, where their MVP of the entire tournament of MSI could get nothing going from the jungle. These performances increasingly have looked a bit more internally consistent, and I think it's fair to criticize the external consistency because we're waiting on those tougher opposition.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll be excited to follow the story of SKT. I think it's going to look a little bit different to
here's one.
2018 spring, right?
Point to one of the top 4 teams that you think SKT can beat. So of the, who can they... we only know so much, and I think the safe choice is they can't beat any of them.
Probably Kingzone.
Kingzone, okay.
Yeah, I think you need a day where SKT win drafts and Rascal and Cuz kind of just fall apart on the top side. Deft I feel like is always going to be very solid. But if I had to choose one, it would probably be them. Damwon and Sandbox just look quite strong nowadays. It's hard for me to vote against them. And Griffin is Griffin in the regular season. If it were a playoff game, I think probably SKT have a chance to defeat Griffin. I'd add them to the list only for playoff games.
I mean, honestly, we need to see Griffin again, right? Because, yes, they were part of a winning squad and had 2 good games, but did lose in that potential clincher for the LCK teams. There was no drama about this series. Unfortunately, from a Hanwha Life perspective, some of their baseball squad, the hop over the wall looks so damn cool on this play as Faker just punked Lava. That's the one that still stings afterwards because you know that a better player got you on this day. As SKT were just too good, and Hanwha Life, unfortunately, I wonder who they're facing next. We don't have that right in front of us, but are they hoping for a Jin Air to find some confidence?
I mean, I'll take a look while we are in the interview, just to get a better feel of what the schedule does look like.
Oh, no, I've actually got it here. Gen.G, Sunday last match.
Okay.
That's an intriguing one. Gen.G would do well to win that one and win it big if they're going to make top 5.
And then they meet up against Kingzone.
Oh, yeah.
Next Thursday, not tomorrow. Take a listen in.
Speaking more than you'd expect, right?
No flash. Yeah, think about the Azir sec.
But I feel the difference. It's a dominant voice is gone, right? Mata is always going to be a dominant voice. Everyone's speaking. Everyone's speaking more than I expected.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You know, I would assume he's the youngest in the lineup and also the most green.
I'd actually love to maybe talk to Ji-san afterwards and say, you've heard kind of we always have the end game wrap-up kind of Naisu moment. What does it sound like to a Korean speaker in terms of comms with Mata in the lineup and comms with Effort? Because they're very different players, right? One is the bootstrap, you know, big dominant support, and the other one is still kind of finding his way in the pro scene.
I'll take a look at some of the stats there. It was only 2 kills to the side of Hanwha Life. No turrets, no drakes.
It wasn't a perfect game at the start, but when the first death came in, it was just a drake till very late in the game, then just a couple of kills. So pretty confident. You heard the crowd cheering before. That's probably because they saw Faker putting on his stuff. Look at that look. That's the look of a man that can punk you on Akali. KDA may not have been that impressive, but this was a very nice performance from Faker.
Yeah, and I mean, all they really have to show is this play, right?
I love what's the over the wall. It just looks so good.
It does look good.
It looks scripted.
It's almost as if they intended it to be that way, to be cool. As yeah, good play from Faker.
Take our word for it. You don't need highlights to know.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well.
Are you looking forward to the Hanwha Life highlight reel for their game?
Oh yeah, nice. What did they even do?
I don't know.
Anyway, I'm going to hand it over to Ji-san. Let's hear from Faker.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Ji-san with the English translation, and we'll be hearing from Faker, the solo MVP. SKT picking up 2-0 victory up against Hanwha Life. SKT with full confidence. How do you feel right now?
네, 오늘 경기 2대0으로 이기겠다 다짐하고 왔었는데.
Well, I really wanted to win today's game with 2-0 score, and I'm really happy that I made it. So, you barely took a rest after Rift Rivals.
생각보다 좀 경기가 빨리 있더라고요. 제가 예전에 몰랐었는데.
I wasn't aware of the schedules, but we had a match really quick. So,
팀이 가졌기 때문에.
Well, we did have a rest in between the splits, so there was no big problem having short break. Game number 1. You play LeBlanc, which is your signature pick, but this was the first time for the summer split. So where does she fit or connect perfectly to today's composition?
팀이 저희가
In
후반
the early?
지향형
Well, we have the scaling composition, so
맞춰주기 위해서 픽을 했었고요.
I just want to manage the balance with LeBlanc, and also even though it's the first time playing it for the split, but I have been playing it for a lot of times. So there are, I mean, every champion is available for me to just lock in. And Hanwha Life was trying a lot of objectives, but it was always SK Telecom stealing them away. So let's go through the Baron team fight over here. So what was going on exactly?
일단 테디가 상황을 봤고요.
Well, Teddy was aware of the situation.
사실 좀 바론이 요즘에
So Baron,
좀 뜸해가지고
nowadays we haven't seen a lot of Baron steals in competitive games, so stealing that Baron was really huge. After that, we were able to just win the team fight. However, we did hear the mic check after the Baron steal. No one was actually giving him a praise. Urga's a bit serious mode in games.
들뜨지 않게 좀 잘했어도 못한다고 하는 편이고요.
Well, we are really strict, you know. Even though when they're playing well, I just want to be really strict because I don't want them to get too excited. I just want all the players to remain calm during games. In game number 2, SKT got all the best champions you guys wanted on your side. Well, draft doesn't really matter much. I think the play really matters. So we did go with the champions that we used to play a lot, but we really didn't think that the draft went as we planned. We just thought about how we're gonna just pull up the plays in real games. Faker, you actually saw Azir, but you ended up locking in Akali, which is really hard during the lane phase.
힘들 수도 있는데.
Well, it can be a little bit struggling in the early game, but as a whole team, if I go with champion, with that goes in a lot, I think I will be able to kind of help my teammates.
솔킬 장면도 있었죠. 이때 팀원들은 용안타를 이제
So when your teammates were preparing for the Dragon team fight, you were actually going for a solo kill. So let's go through highlights together.
아지르가 E 스킬 빠지는 게 보였거든요.
Well, I knew that Azir had his E skill on cooldown, so I was also in a great position. So I was thinking of doing a Dragon team fight at first, but I could see the angle so clean, so I just did it.
정말 보였던 킬각 그대로 완벽한 솔킬 장면 만들어 내주셨습니다. 자, 이제 SKT가 서머 초반에는 힘들었지만
you guys did struggle in the beginning of summer split, but first round Robin is wrapping up in 3 matches losing streak.
네, SKT 선수들은 플레이적으로 어떤 점이 가장 좋아졌다고
So,
생각하세요?
which part of mechanics or gameplay has stepped up? Overall, I think our play just got better.
하기에는 좀 다들 여러 면에서 지금 좋은 모습을 보여주고 있어요.
We are just showing a lot of great performance in various ways, and also our teamwork is really good. And I just want to keep this momentum going on till the rest of the split.
정말 반갑습니다. 자, 다음 경기 이제 2라운드가
So your
시작됩니다.
next game will be in the second round up against KT Rolster.
2라운드 가고
And the resolution going into second round Robin.
이제 1라운드 굉장히 안 좋은 성적으로
well,
마무리했는데
first round wasn't really good. It was actually bad. But I want to get a revenge on the teams that we were defeated in round 1. And I always appreciate the support from my fans.
네, 언제나 즐거운 페이커 선수와의 인터뷰였습니다. 승리 축하드리고요.
Congratulations on the win, and this will be the end of the interview with Faker, and I'm going to hand it back to our casters. Thank you.
페이커 선수와 함께했습니다.
Thank you, Ji-sun, as always, for the wonderful translation. Good to hear from Faker, as always. A happy Faker is a quality Faker. And he had a quality day today, Papa.
I think we had a pretty quality broadcast too. We got to bring on Candice. Thank you so much, the ultra-talented Candice, for joining us between games, giving us a bit of an insight on the LPL side of things. She's got business to attend to. LPL starts on Friday, so enjoying a couple of days off here in Seoul, South Korea after Rift Rivals. Speaking of after Rift Rivals, SKT 1-5 quickly becomes 4-5. Not their worst round robin ever. That was the 3-6 of, I believe, last year. And now it's all about a better second round robin. If they can get about 6 wins, I think playoffs is guaranteed. 6-3, very doable for an SKT team at finding form, but 6-3 requires wins over one of Griffith, Sandbox, Damwon, Kingzone, and Afrika. So, see how SKT can bounce back, and also how their fellow playoffs aspirers in Afrika Freaks and Genji do, given they are both on the trail for what feels like 5th place. We're not 100% set, but already it's 2 match wins between, maybe 1, but right now 2 match wins between 4th place and the rest. Tomorrow we have a pretty big banger to open up the day.
Oh yeah.
Damwon Gaming on a 9-series win streak against a Sandbox Gaming lineup, looking to go 8-1 in the first round robin.
Sandbox versus Damwon, the 2 teams coming up from challengers together and just impressing in a big way, just getting better and better, especially Damwon even going over to Rift Rivals, playing on a big stage in front of a huge crowd, and still being able to play to that high level of potency is really good news for Damwon fans.
And then maybe Jin has one chance to win. It's Afrika in no form and Jin with some time away. Maybe tomorrow's the day.
That would be a good way to end off the round 1, of course, but this is going to be the end of our cast here. Hope you guys enjoyed it today. We love you. Good night.
You take me higher when I feel low. Make my way brighter when I'm alone. I keep on rolling, all with your fuel. You're like my gasoline that makes my dream come true. This is the beginning.